Appreciate everybody coming out late night. I know you guys have a long day there at school. It's never easy coming out in the evening, so try to make it as smooth as possible. Liz, if you're ready to go.
Okay. I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to add to the agenda other than the items that we have there.
If we have time, we can talk about some stuff maybe.
Okay, can we go really quickly through all of these items? I think we can, if that's okay.
Yeah, it's up to you.
All right. So the first item is Odyssey of the Mind. This came up in October when it was presented to the Academic Affairs Committee during the Committee of the Whole. During that meeting, the board did express support in moving forward with the process to bring this back to the district. We did have the organizer this year create bylaws to be able to move forward with that. It is important that the district knows there is a cost to us as a district if we do decide to move forward with bringing it back more formally to the district. Right now it's all volunteers, it's all fundraised externally. I did link in the document, if you look at the electronic version, the documents that Rochelle had prepared regarding Odyssey of the Mind. It does look like the cost to the district could be around $5,000 if we continue to move it forward.
This year?
Not this year. This would be moving on after this school year. So there's 3 different options that the district can do with an organization like this. We could have it be something that's run by the district. We can have it be kind of like a club or a student activities piece, or it could be a separate entity like it is right now, where it's running through volunteers. I'm just bringing this back to the table because we are at the point where we need to, I think, make some decisions as a board of what direction we're going in with the Odyssey of the Mind. And it is an investment if it's something that the board wants to do. The costs for the stipends are a little heavier for Odyssey of the Mind than some other clubs because of the time that's required for that. We do support our quiz team. We pay every year for a membership through WVIA to do that at the high school level. It's not what would cover the cost right now for the full Odyssey of the Mind and the stipends because of the heavy stipend load for running the program. So I can give you the hard copy of this if we want, and we don't have to make any decisions tonight, but I'd like if someone could look over it and then make a decision of how they want to move forward.
I think that anytime you're talking about something like this, there's more to it than just the financial. I mean, this is a huge program, and it's been historically great in Berwick with lots of participants, and the alumni of Odyssey of the Mind have loved it as well. If we're going to look at financials, we could look at some possible profit centers to offset some of that cost to see if we can reboot it through concessions. That seems like a pretty easy way to recoup some of that money.
So if you're comfortable continuing to move this conversation forward, I would like to see if Rochelle could come and maybe meet with the rest. She did ask if we wanted her to come tonight, and I said, I'll take this and see where you want to go next, so that you're able to look at the full numbers and talk through the breakdown of this more completely before making a decision moving forward. She has completed the bylaws, though. That was the next step that she needed to do if we were going to move forward as a full club. So I just want to give an update on that.
Yeah, I'd certainly like to look into it.
Great. The other is I did share out with Wendy an MOU for bringing a therapy dog program to the school district. It's actually called Tail Wagging Tutors, and I think I put the wrong name. I think I put both buddies, or I don't know. So what it is if we're able to sign this memorandum of understanding with Therapy Dog International, we could then move forward to get on their schedule to bring some dogs into our buildings to read with our students. I did send it on so that our attorney would be able to make sure the language in the MOU is all things that work well with us. And we would have all students that would be participating do a permission slip as well in regards to the liability side of things. Most of the local school districts do this. I think that Berwick's done it in the past as well. So I think there's no cost to us other than time and effort.
What was our other one's name? Banjo.
Banjo.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So if it's something that you're comfortable moving forward with, I don't see any downsides to it whatsoever. We would need to get the MOU signed so that we can get on their schedule because there is a heavy demand for their tutors. So, I think so too. I think even the middle school, it would be a nice thing to be able to put in.
That organization has got to be 30 years old because my dog was one of those when I lived in Doylestown.
Yeah, they've been doing it for quite a while. She said that they have over 100 handlers in this area that could service our school district. It actually is one of the benefits to being Columbia and Luzerne. We don't often hear that, but it gives us a little bit more volunteers that we could possibly do. The other things that are on here are regarding piloting programs. So over the next school year, I would like to move forward with piloting some literacy programs in K-2. We would like to take a look at piloting the literacy program for 5 through 8, and also piloting a program called Mystery Science, which is a supplementary program we can use for our science curriculum in our elementary grades. I will be bringing you some samples of what these materials look like. I'm working really hard to see if we can have a no-cost pilot from some of them before we would make any decisions. I do want to note that even if we're piloting a literacy program for K-2 for the 24-25 school year, we are going to end up having to purchase one more year of utilizing Wonders for grades 3 and 4. We're not going to sign more than a yearly contract with them so that we can make sure that we have some flexibility moving forward with them. So I just wanted to make sure everyone was okay with continuing that process with looking at resources. Right, okay. And then we can talk about our super exciting CTE and preschool program. Why don't you lead off and then I'll talk about my preschool
Absolutely.
idea.
I'll lead off on that. We'll start with some boring CTE stuff first. Just an overview of our CTE audit. We were audited last year. It was the first year of our audit. Had some things they wanted us to relook at. So we did that as a team this year. And I just got the results back from the state. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, and we passed our audit. So everything's good. All the boxes are checked. So we can move forward with that with no problems. Right now we offer 5 programs. One of our programs, we do not have any students in that program. I would want to try to advertise that again to our student population this year. We're going to start scheduling in March. So we'll know if anyone's interested.
Which one is that?
That would be accounting. So if it comes down to no one's interested in accounting again, then I think we need to take a look at that and see if we want to just scrap that. And I'd actually go into the application, just do reverse application and have them take it off as a CTE. But we'll see if there's any interest with our students. The next one we're going to look at, I guess we will get a little bit excited.
I'm so excited.
Dr. Schott was very excited about this. And I'm like one more boring piece of information. Then I promise to get the exciting part. Part of having CTEs, you have to have a local articulation agreement with colleges. And it's a dual enrollment agreement. And what they want to see is that one of our classes aligns with one of their college classes and they give our kids credit. And each CTE has to have that. So I just got a new one with Lackawanna to add to it for our rehabilitation aid, and that would be physical therapy assistant. That would be the course they offer, and it is equivalent to our medical terminology. So that's something that I will sign, and Kate Warhurst, my assistant principal, will sign. And all that is saying, it's nothing financial or anything like that. It's just saying that if our kids complete that course, if they go to Lackawanna, they'll get dual enrollment credit. How exciting. No, you promised I could start this. So one of the CTEs we've been looking at moving forward, we talked about this in the LAC, would be a CTE based on teachers, how to train teachers. And what they have, it's code 130101, and it is educational general, the general education. What this is, would be a 2-year program where our students would start looking at just things that go along with becoming a teacher. Orientation, education, profession, planning and preparation, and I won't go through all that. This is the task list. And it's just everything, you know, general teaching skills. So what we would like to do is not just have this in the high school like our other CTEs, but actually go forward with something and make it more special, and make it more appropriate. Right now, as everyone knows, we have a pre-K, the CSIU's pre-K at the high school. So we do have a class of about 20-some, I think there's about 20 students in there, pre-K students within our high school with our high school students. And they're using our gym and they're using our facilities. It's going very well. We would like to add to that. And we think if we could add to that, we could add something unique to our high school and build it right into this career, CTE teacher, general education career. So now I'll let you give the details. And we talked about this, and I've actually talked about this with my department heads today in our department head meeting.
Are they good?
I think
Excited?
no one sees why we can't make this work. So yeah, I think we definitely ready to move forward. So now
Alright.
you can have the fun.
So what we're looking at doing is expanding some options beyond just the pre-K counts class that we have at the high school, and creating some opportunities for a more creative kindergarten experience for some of our students. So what we would look to do would be to first add on an additional preschool class directly in our high school, and then also look to add on 2 kindergarten classes that would be offered at the high school. It'd be offered as an open enrollment, so if you come and you are enrolling your child in kindergarten, you would have the opportunity to opt in for a lottery to be part of that program. And what we'd like to do is have these be a program, be classrooms that are gonna center on STEM education as the focus of their work in kindergarten. So our students will still be doing all of their reading skills, all of their math skills, and utilizing those programs, but really leaning in on the science and technology aspects of things, the project-based learning pieces. Think of it like a laboratory kindergarten, like you see in partnerships with many universities. One of the things that's really exciting is that the university would love to be able to place more kindergarten teachers and kindergarten student teachers into our buildings, so this would be an opportunity for that. It would also be an opportunity for us to do more partnerships with the intermediate unit. We do have some new science standards coming out. They're pretty robust, and we do need to be able to start addressing them as early on as kindergarten. So once we can start these classes, we'll be able to see what the impact is on our students as we move into 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade. And if it's a program and a model that works, we could eventually see, is this something we could start to expand in some of our other grades? It's something I think if I was a kindergarten parent, I'd be super excited about the idea of having this as an option, and it would be open to any student in our district that enrolls for kindergarten. Any questions?
I will be a kindergarten parent.
I know, it's so exciting.
So how many classrooms in high
We
school?
would like to do 2 kindergarten classes and 2 preschool classes. That's our longer term.
Liz, are you talking about taking back over not taking it back over, but doing the pre-K count grant ourselves then?
Yeah, I think that would be our best option if we're able to do that. We would need to be really cognizant of who we're bringing in as a teacher for this program, because the Department of Education is going to have requirements, and they do have requirements on who's able to be the teacher of record for the CTE portion. And we are going to want to have some teachers that are going, especially for the preschool piece, are able to teach preschool, but also are able to do the high school part of it. But I think that'd be ideal.
And what we were talking about this afternoon, how I see this how I see myself developing this part of it. The junior year, I think I'd have the students working with the preschool and the kindergarten. So I'm talking about the CTE high school students. So that first year, the junior year, they'd spend time at these levels, working with the younger kids. And then as their senior year approaches, they'd be working with the high school teachers and the middle school teachers. So they get all sides of education. In a sense, pre-K to 12, so they have that experience. So it won't just be just about pre-K and kindergarten, because that's not giving them the full experience
The
either.
full thing.
So that's kind of what, we haven't had a chance to go that far yet. And when you look at teachers that can teach it, like Dr. Shotwell said, you can't just pick anyone. They have to meet this criteria, which is on this page. And there are some pre-K I know one is reading specialists, for instance. Reading specialists pre-K to 12. And then I believe there was a special education pre-K to 12. So really, just at a quick glance, if I'm not missing anything, that's what we would need that teacher to be. Or environmental education, PK to 12. Health education, PK to 12. Family consumer science, PK to 12. So marketing, PK to 12. So it'd have to be someone that fits this criteria or the state will not accept the application. And it will limit a lot of our current teachers do not have these certifications. Like one of my first cert was kindergarten K to 6. Well, I couldn't teach this program with that cert.
But if we are moving forward in this direction, it would be something we could possibly see if some of our teachers especially are interested in adding on that reading specialist certification, which would be a master's program, which they could do to get their level 2 if they don't already have it. So if there are some of our K to 4 or K to 8 teachers that are interested in that, I can see that as an option. And that's a certification that we could use long-term in the district, no matter what.
With so they're not additional, the kindergarten aren't additional positions.
Yep.
They're positions that we would already have, so from a budgetary standpoint. And the grant, the pre-K counts grant covers that entire program. And in fact, taking that grant back over ourselves, I keep saying that, but doing it ourselves, potentially can leave room for transportation. So often there's families that are not able to transport their own children to those programs. But because we contract with the IU for it, there's no more funding left in the grant in order to be able to provide transportation. So that would be an option. But those two positions would be those would be additional positions, but they would be funded through the grant.
But you don't see an issue finding people for those positions?
I don't think so. And the nice thing about it, a lot of the high school teachers themselves could teach the CT part of it, and I would want them to do that. I would like to see, and that's what we would talk about moving forward. Once it gets approved, would we like, let's just say department, we would like Vicki Whitner teaching one course, Steph Rothbury teaching one course, and Matt Schrader teaching a course, or do we want Vicki Whitner teaching 3? Well, as the high school principal, I'd say no, I don't want that at all, because I don't want to lose one of my best teachers from the core subject area to teach a CTE. So we'd have to play with that schedule-wise. But I'd rather divvy it up between 4 to 5 teachers, to be honest with you.
That sounds like a great program. See how it helps together. I'm curious to see how many kids involved there's a lot of.
Yeah, that's what we said the same thing. It would be interesting to see how many parents would shy away from it because it's housed at the high school.
Well, how do you handle things like recess?
They have their own area. Lunch, they eat in their room. Well, we can relook at that. The way I'm looking, like if I had to make a decision tonight, and you said, what is your plan? I'd say my plan is to take the hallway closest to my office. And there are 1, 2, 3, about 5 or 6 rooms there, and make that wing. That'd be my education CPE wing. And the one room I would set up as a little cafeteria for the students. And then there's another small room there that could be with bathrooms, that'd be their area. So I would take that wing, I'd want to keep it right now closest to the office area. And then parents could come in either through the office or through that side door. And they'd be at the side door to meet someone, and then if they came in later through the office, so. Because that far wing where we have the students now, that's also where our shops are. So there's no great way to expand in that wing. So I wouldn't want it there. I want it closest to the office. That's my thought as of right now. And then I would just have to move a few other rooms around. And I have the room to do that right now. As long as Mrs. Hagman doesn't continue to take rooms from me.
special ed population is
I
growing.
didn't say any of that, I just said Mrs. Hagley.
So where do we go?
That's very formal.
I
Are you
think
looking to
we
make it
need
formal?
like a little bit of a go-ahead that this is something you're interested in us moving forward with. There is a time, to get this program approved with PDE to move forward with the CTE, it's not like an instant thing.
It starts in March, the application process would open in
applications.
March. So I'm just
They-
looking for you to say, go ahead and apply for the CTE, and then if we see if we get it, and then I will continue to work on the plan, assuming we're going to get it. But the first thing is just have permission to go ahead and apply.
And then I'd be able to continue conversations with the intermediate unit as well as the university to see if they're able to give us a little bit more formal letters of support to move forward with the kindergarten and preschool program that they would possibly want to be a part of. The IU different than what it is with the pre-K counts, it would be with their science department there, which I think would help us as we're moving forward to apply for this program.
And even next year, we were talking, I mean, we still have this IU's pre-K counts there. So if we have this program approved, we could still start with the population of students we have at the high school currently, without making any changes. And we can look for those larger changes the following year. We don't have to rush this through this summer. We could still get this program started and start looking at the bugs, which I'd rather do than rush it and not have it ready.
I want it to be
Right.
as
We don't
close
want,
to
right.
perfect as
We don't want
can.
4 classes of young kids there and we're like, oh, whoa, we didn't think about that.
So
Now we have,
But that was our
60 kids.
original, our original plan was when we moved pre-K count over there was, we were already looking
So-
at that
So
program.
moving forward, are we allowed to give permission to include it? I think that's what it would.
I never had board approval to do an application. You'd
Okay.
have to approve the course once it's a.
Yeah,
Right.
then I would say let's move forward, is it?
That's how we always, that's how I've handled the ones in the past. I just talked to the committee first and let them know.
Right.
Because obviously if it was a strong no, I wasn't gonna
Right.
jump through all the hoops.
Strong yes. Strong yes.
So I'll start that. I don't know why I'm thinking March 19th. I could be wrong, but it's sometime in mid-March. And then we'll know in May, but I'm confident that we'll get it. I mean,
Yeah, I hope so.
I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm confident.
Good luck.
Liz, is there a transfer of entity, do you think, to take that pre-K back?
We have to look at the
Have to look at
documentation
that.
of that, because I don't know how that was established.
We can get we can get the grant, but I'm wondering about the staff.
Teacher,
Yeah.
staff.
Which one? Be a issue.
No, not at all.
We'll have to look into that.
That's all I have. The rest is all you.
Okay, good. I don't have much more. Just with the new committee, just kind of how we do textbooks. Right now, there's 2 books that I don't know if I'm gonna need them for next year or not. And that is our AP Stats and our AP Chemistry. The difference with our AP texts and all of our other texts, we technically can keep until they don't exist anymore and they fall apart. Sometimes that's happened in the past. But with AP, you can't keep a book 15 years because it has to be updated. So right now, we are 1 year out with our AP Stats, and we're either 1 year out with AP Chem, or it's up this year, and we're finding that out. I'll know that by tomorrow. So when we bring a textbook to the board, how it has always worked, this is, let's just say this is AP Chemistry. This would be a fun one to read, 10th edition. The way I understand the law, and this is actually in code, if I would get the 12th edition, the newest one out, but it's the same book, it doesn't have to go, obviously board approval to buy it, because it's a large purchase, but it doesn't have to go in front of sit out in the boardroom for a month, because it's the same book, just a different edition. But let's say if I go with Chemistry, Beyond, whatever, a different book altogether, then what I would do is I'd bring it here tonight, I'd say, we're looking to get 30 chemistry books, and like, here's the quote. for this one. So we're looking at, I got 40 textbooks of the AP stats, and it comes to, with shipping, $6,723. So I would let you know that, and then I would put this board out for a month. And then the board sits here in this boardroom, it's open to the public. If anyone would want to come and read that book, review that book, can do so. And then the following month, the board then votes yes or no if I can purchase it. So these are two that, once I meet again with my department heads tomorrow, if I need to move forward on this chemistry, what I would do Monday night then is bring this to you and say, and I'm going to need 30 copies, and it should be right around 6,000. And I mean, it doesn't hurt. We can just put it out anyway to send the boardroom for one. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that process, how we do that. And a lot of times we bring textbooks in the spring. And I actually think code does tell you which month you're supposed to. I'm pretty sure it's about this time of the year. But that's just kind of our process. And these are the first two I'll be looking at the high school. And this would just be, like I said, we need 40 stats and I believe 30 chem. When we bring some things to you, it may be a large chunk of money, like a new math series or a new reading series. We could be asking you for $400,000. So they kind of come in different waves. Sometimes just a classroom set, and sometimes it's a $400,000 tag. But it's still that same kind of process.
Sounds better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was happy to. Like, so how many do we need? Classroom set, right? But that's just, I just want to kind of go over that. And like I said, if I will make it official Monday if they should be able to.
That's all we had.
Anything else?
Were you gonna talk about the ERPs and all, or?
Yeah, we can.
But at this point, it's just next steps, where are we at in that phase?
I did, Kyle and I have talked a little bit about it, and I told her we were going to speak about it tonight. And I know it seems like, if I understand what we're looking for, just getting our information out more through our school, through our social
It's
media.
Rachel has been doing it a little bit now on a small scale, but eventually what the thought process is that it is student run and professionally led. Okay, so the students, just like a print media source, they would go through the school and they would have agenda items, so to speak, things to look for on a daily and weekly basis. And then put reports together or have task it out so that there's daily reporting on what's happening in school. They would create the content, it would come up through Kyla or whoever is in charge, and it would be shipped over to Rachel to put out on social media. So we're looking for updates on sporting events or student spotlights, alumni spotlights, reporting on board meetings and academic affairs, snow days, or the thought process. Maybe we have a snow day. Superintendent gets interviewed on that whole process, so that we can actually explain thoroughly, this is what happens, this is how that goes, so that we're communicating with the public on a regular basis and controlling the message that is pervaded, instead of letting a third party do it to us.
I don't think we're far off from being able to make that happen, because every day we have Bash TV, which is exactly what we're talking about. No, it's not Channel 1 or anything like that. We have our own TV studio. And every day our kids do their own TV broadcast, and it goes out to every kid. So we can easily,
Put that on social
I'm
media.
sure we can easily tag that to the social media platform.
That would be incredible.
And then we have our own newspaper also, so those articles could become interviews. Like, we're not far away from that.
Yeah.
I think we have all the pieces there. I
think
think we just
you're
need to get
just
them out.
looking at
And
quicker
we
turnaround.
send out an agenda every day to every parent, what's going on at the high school. Caroline Curry sends that out every day.
Yep.
We get all the announcements. So I think we have all those pieces. It would just be formalizing them and just taking that next step.
Yeah.
Which,
I think that would really go a long way, and it would certainly put us out there for some criticism as well, but that's okay. I think it's important to hear that too. So, just waiting to hear back from Kyla then?
no, we talked. I told her after tonight, I'd have a better idea. So we could, her and I will meet again.
Okay.
And Teresa Christian.
Great.
I think my first question would be to them. I believe, because Kate was saying that today, I know we have a district Facebook page, but I'm pretty sure we have a high school one too. At least they thought so. So we'll look into that.
The consolidation of resources, I think, would be
Yeah.
a good way to do it, so that it's one place to go to, because then you have the parent-led groups, which can confuse things a little bit, but.
I would think the first start would be getting our Dash TV out onto our Facebook platform or whatever. And then start, I'm not gonna say improving that, but changing that a little bit to maybe make it different, more. I think that's very cool.
I think the only reason why you probably don't, at the high school is all the other Facebook pages are parent groups.
Yeah, I don't know, they just said they thought we had one.
I think there
There was
was
one.
a Mass Effect page, but it's not being utilized for that. I think there was, like, if you go on Facebook, there's like a Salem page, but it's not being used.
There's also community pages, which are a little bit different, they're
Yeah.
not being posted by anybody, but just using the.
Right.
And I'll find out, but I think we're better off doing it on our district one anyway.
Right,
So it's-
right.
Put it all
Oh, yeah.
together. Yeah, and then Teresa oversees, so I'll meet with Teresa and Kyla.
Okay. Great. You two don't have anything else?
I don't think I do. Anything pressing, did anything to add?
Didn't know if, like, when we had talked the other day, you had talked about, strategizing some of those things, but I don't think we want to, I don't actually go over that right now. Well, I don't think we have a plan. You do?
That would be good. Anything that?
I will have changes next month for, any new courses offered at the high school, I bring to the board for approval. I'll have that next month. And we also want to look at changing our report card. And what I mean by that, I had a parent come in this year. It was a great meeting. Long, got in trouble a little bit, but it was a great meeting. The way we have done our report cards at the high school changed about, we're guessing about 15 years ago. So let's say your child's a freshman and does no work. When you get that report card or your schedule for next year, it'll say your child is a sophomore. And it looks like your child did not fail and is a sophomore, but what we see is 0 credits. So they bring 0 credits, but they were always moved up and labeled as a sophomore. We're going to stop that because parents and students are getting a false sense of where they're at. They're seeing that I passed, I did no work and I passed. And I see it as credits. But like this parent said to me, he's like, yeah, you see it as credits because you live there. I see it as they passed. And I'm thinking, how did that happen? So we're gonna come next month with some changes to that. We don't have it all figured out yet. There's some areas we need to think about. But they're the 2 things that I'll be bringing next month.
Well, that's because there were cohorts, because you weren't.
Well, yeah, no, but we need to
Because of the way
change that.
PDE records it, if they don't graduate in 4 years.
But now there's a 5th-year cohort,
Right.
and I'm not worried about
The
that.
data
I'm
that
more worried
they're
about the
gathering.
parents and the kids. Because we have we're getting too many students that get to the junior, senior year, and they think they're a senior, and we're like, you're not a senior. You have 6 credits. You need 24 to graduate. So
But
they're
that's why
getting
that
a
was
false
changed
sense,
back,
yeah.
that's what,
They're just
under
getting
the
a false
previous
sense.
administration, right, that's what they
And
did.
that goes way back, and I know it was about cohorts, but we need to update it now, it's outdated.
Thank
45
you.
minutes.
You did a good
Good job.
job.
That was exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next month.
See you.